Hey gang, it's Chris Angel coming at you, and I'm putting this video together for a friend of mine, Chad, who is considering some coaching. We did some coaching a couple years ago, and he's looking at it again for his team. So I'm going to speak to Chad in this, but you guys are welcome to follow along here. So Chad, to your question, with the system that I teach and could teach your agents on your team, is there a way to have it also create leads now? Like, is there a way to create short-term leads? And the answer is yes. I mean, as much as I play to and advocate for the long play and building foundation, which is what my system does, you can absolutely use it for short-term leads. So let me show you how that works, okay? So let's assume this line stands for time. And right here, this moment in time is a point of sale. It's a transaction that closed, okay? Point of sale, POS, point of sale. Now, a lot of your competition right here are competing for short-term leads. Like, they're all saying, hey, find out what your house is worth, find out what your house is worth. And we just say that over and over again, okay? So there's a lot of competition right here. So if you come at this with you and your team saying to your friends, your family, your database, or random strangers on Facebook saying, hey, everybody, find out what your house is worth because you're looking for short-term leads, the challenge is that gets lost. That call to action gets lost because that's what everybody's saying. So what we have to do is get upstream in people's lives before they're ever looking to buy and sell. So what we do, and the way we do that is by building a funnel, okay? We build a funnel into people's lives around a topic. This is what I talk about when I talk about tribe building. So if you wanted to use something like, let's just use my standby, let's use wine as the topic, the point of connection. As I start to find other people in the world, right, that like wine, and I invite them into my conversation about wine, and I can do that through Facebook, I can do it through networking events, I could do it through direct mail. Like, you can find all sorts of ways to find your tribe. That's what I would help you discover, right? But as you find these people that like what you like, let's use wine, we invite them into your database with a lead magnet. A lead magnet is that thing where they give you their name and email address in exchange for some type of resource that's valuable to them, okay? So as you do that, you're going to be growing your database. Now, I want to see you get to 500 people in your database. In order to do that, one of the fastest ways I like to do that is with Facebook. So I like to see you get to 500 people in Facebook first, then we start to run ads to your fans in Facebook in order to start growing your database, okay? Now, that is step one. I mean, that's the first piece, is we've got to pull into our database these people who like what we like. I've seen some of my clients have gotten to 1,000 fans within a week on Facebook with a relatively low budget. So you can do it relatively quickly when you follow the system. Once you start to pull these fans into your database, okay, the next step is how we get the short-term lead, okay? Now listen, you can get a short-term lead, but don't do this to just then abandon your conversation with your tribe and only talk about short-term lead stuff with them, right? Like, don't just start talking about real estate with them. Just because they're in your database doesn't mean now that you're just going 100% real estate conversation. This is the power of leads later, like cultivating and nurturing relationships with people thematically or with context. That's what produces even more leads later. But to your question, short-term leads, yes. So we build our fans, then we invite them into our database, okay? And from here, now we can start to transition our conversation into something about real estate. Here's what I like to use. I think that find out what your house is worth is a little overused. You can use it, especially if you've earned the attention of people that like wine, for example. They already listen to you as somebody who brings them valuable content. So then if you did use, hey, find out what your house is worth, at least they would be listening to you because you earned their attention. But the challenge with find out what your house is worth is that doesn't really have a shelf life. We call these lead magnets. I think it's very important for you to have a lead magnet that has shelf life. Meaning, your people can keep coming back to that over and over again for value. Finding out what your house is worth is kind of like here and gone. As soon as you give me a number, or as soon as Zillow gives me his estimate, you've sort of satisfied my curiosity, then I don't need to talk about it anymore. Like, I don't need to come back for another number, right? So what you want to do is start to provide people a resource or a lead magnet that has them continue to come back for more. And the way that I would recommend doing that is with a staging program, okay? Especially for listings, right? Because here's the thing with listings, people need to get their house ready. And you can't just get your house ready in a weekend. If you're going to do a thorough job, there are 5 steps, according to my friend Andy Capilouto, who is the founder of International School of Staging. There are 5 steps to get your house ready. Now, I would recommend saying to your database of people, hey, if you guys have thought about selling in the next 6 to 12 months, there are 5 key steps you have to move through in order to get your house ready for the market. Do not wait 6 months to do that. You can get that course or program, that seller's program, here and then provide a link. So that is sort of the call to action I would use, okay? How do you get that seller staging program to those homeowners? You can send them a link through email, since now we have their email. You could run Facebook ads just to the people that are your fans and invite them to download it. What happens now is people have come to respect you for the content you provide, and now you're transitioning and providing great content again in the real estate context. And the cool thing about a 5-part staging program is that there's shelf life. I might go through and clean today, but tomorrow I'm going to need to sort of thin out and repair. Okay, actually repair comes before cleaning, but my point is, like, they're going to work through a weekend, 2 weekends, they're going to work through stuff, then another one. So there's shelf life to this lead magnet, and they keep coming back to it because they need to know what's next. And every time they come back to it, they're coming back to you and your resource. So as you build this out, you get a list that's growing of people who are like, yeah, man, I am getting ready to sell. I need to know what to do. Now, of those people, we say 6 to 12 months, but some of those people may be, man, I've been thinking about doing this like next week. I want to know what I should be doing. See, as the agent, I can't control when the people in my database are thinking of selling. I'm just trying to give them some cushion and space and not feel pressured by saying 6 to 12 months. But out of that, a lot of people will be like, yeah, man, I need to do this like within the month. Like, I can't believe I hadn't thought of getting my house ready, or there's 5 steps. I thought I just sort of, packed stuff away and I was ready to go. So you will, out of your growing fan base and growing database, you will pull people who are short-term leads. And the determining factor of how many people are short-term leads is how big you grow your database. I mean, that's just the law of averages. Like, you just need critical mass. Most people's databases are too small. Chad, I know your database is relatively big. So you need a call to action that is helpful and has shelf life and sort of coaches people through the process of getting their house ready, not just find out what your house is worth. Then that's what I recommend. So you can then, let me draw this out for you, because here's the first funnel that is about your tribe. And then here's your database. As you say, hey, get my 5-part, 5-step, whatever, staging course program. They're going to opt in for that. Okay, they're going to give you their name and email address. And now you've got a funnel for real estate. This is your real estate funnel. And you're going to communicate with those people all the way to close, all the way to a transaction. So yes, can you get immediate business out of this? Yes, you can. What's more important for me, though, is the long term and the foundation, because once you have this funnel in place, your entire success lies on your ability to drive more people into the front end of the funnel, because the rest of the funnel does all the heavy lifting. The rest of the funnel does all the conversion. So, yes, it gets you short-term leads, but we want to focus here first and scale as quickly as possible to grow our numbers so that we can then move people into the real estate conversation to a transaction, okay? So that's about a 10-minute explanation. Hopefully that helps you determine whether this is going to be a good fit for you and your team or not in terms of not only long-term leads, but short-term leads. So thanks, Chad. I look forward to talking to you guys. And the rest of you, if you're interested in this as well and hiring me to help you implement this system, that's what I'm here for. So private message me or drop it in a comment and we'll connect. See ya.